Israel has a right to defend itself. I don't think anyone disagrees with that. But what they are doing now in an indiscriminate way, bombing refugee camps, bombing ambulances, killing thousands of innocent men, women, and children in violation of international law is simply not acceptable. It has got to stop. And it is no great secret that the United States provides $3.8 billion every year.
Bernie Sanders said something quite simple here. You know, it's very simple, but he's already catching the flack. You know how Ben Shapiro feels. Ben Shapiro says Bernie Sanders is such an idiot that he doesn't know what the word indiscriminate means, and such a moral stain that he is doing the work of Hamas here. That daggone word is starting to get on my nerves just as much as anti-S is. Okay. The man just said, like, yo, man, maybe fall back on the kids a little bit, and he said a pause. He didn't ask for any kind of ceasefire. He said a pause. Okay. And Dave Rubin, there's a special place in hell for this socialist sellout. Go live in Gaza. You might just be the one Jew they'd accept. Look how these people talk. These people have a problem. Like, all the man is saying is, yo, there's some kids, like, yo, fall back a little bit, or at least let's figure out the situation. Let's take a pause and then go back and bomb them again. But don't you worry, guys. Don't worry a single bit. Bernie Sanders was asked again how he feels about the response and ceasefires and everything else, and let's see his answer.
I want to just clarify one thing, Senator, if I might. You support a humanitarian pause in Gaza. Some of your fellow progressives say that there should be a full-on ceasefire, which would require an agreement on both sides to halt the fighting. Do you support a ceasefire? And if not, why not?
Well, I don't know how you can have a ceasefire, permanent ceasefire, with an organization like Hamas, which is dedicated to turmoil and chaos and destroying the state of Israel. And I think what the Arab countries in the region understand, that Hamas has got to go. So
I want to just.
Okay, so there we go. And you already have AIPAC that is promoting Bernie Sanders. AIPAC is American Israel Public Affairs Committee. Okay, pro-Israel messaging so strong, facts didn't even matter. This is the number one lobby in our government. Okay, so they, of course, fund politicians to do their bidding, to do whatever. And they only go there on behalf of Israel, and they give them big money. And of course, they give them big money anytime you see. This is a video from back from like 2016 or so, 2015. And I can't really play it because of the music, but yeah, when you know they're getting big money because, okay, look, intense pandering, right? Look at the people who come to talk to Hillary Clinton is there, we're gonna keep on moving. Come on, Ted Cruz, Donald Trump, everybody goes. 95% of our politicians are funded through AIPAC, okay?
The United States has a special relationship with Israel that has no parallel in modern history, and it is almost wholly due to the lobby. The aid is given unconditionally. In other words, Israel gets this aid even when it does things that the United States opposes, like building settlements in the West Bank. Only someone who is blind and deaf would not recognize that the United States is deeply committed to defending Israel's behavior at almost every turn.
So this is John Mearsheimer. So for everybody who will watch this video and say, oh, that's just, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Okay, I just say, real quick, I just want you to know, John Joseph Mearsheimer is an American political scientist. This guy's done countless lectures. He's studied, he knows geopolitics, and has a very balanced take on a lot of subjects. Okay, so this is a scholar who knows what he's talking about, who simply brings in the facts. I'm not one of those who says that you shouldn't be able to question a person like this, but of course you should question them, fact check everything they're saying, but I'm pretty sure a lot of it, if it's not subjective, only facts, not subjective, you will find it to be correct, okay? Not the subjective stuff, all right? But it's the truth. Our politicians, their biggest donor is AIPAC.
Regarding Israel, while House Republicans are leading on approach, we're also leading the charge to support our cherished friend. And last week, in one of my first acts as Speaker, we passed a resolution reaffirming our commitment to Israel in its moment of peril. And now, as Israel begins the next phase of its war, it's been kind of disturbing to us. I've heard Democrats suggest that there needs to be a ceasefire. Let us be clear. We've been very clear about this. There was a ceasefire. It was before October 7th, and Hamas broke it, and Israelis suffered unspeakable acts of evil, as you've heard even recounted here this morning. Israel doesn't need a ceasefire. It needs its allies to cease with the politics and deliver support now.
Yeah, right. So this is why one of the first things that Mike Johnson makes sure got passed or is getting passed, I believe it already got passed, was the bill for Israel. That's the first thing, right? The bill for Israel.
When the Speaker of the House, who I know is a nice guy from your state, the new Speaker of the House comes in, and the first thing he does is issue a statement on behalf of a foreign country. That's the most important thing. I'm not even against the statement, but I'm
Right.
just saying, like, what bigger statement does that make?
That's him, Mikey Johnson.
Yeah. And
He's the speaker.
he is. And
Praise God.
but
I mean,
if-
damn, Mikey.
he's a nice guy, and I'm not against him, but I'm just saying, like, if you think the welfare of another country is the most important thing for you as one of the leaders of our country, third in line to the presidency, you have lost the thread, son.
Tucker says it right, you know. And listen, I'm not a child who thinks like, oh, we're not going to send money to any other country. We're going to send money to countries. I can't stop it, right? I can't stop it. You just bet. I'm just making you aware of the people who are supposed to work for you. We are sinking our GDP. We already know our inflation through the roof. We already know, you know, and people are trying to come at Mike Johnson about him being a Christian. I think that's amazing that he's a Christian. I think that's great. But guess what? Mike Johnson says that Bible verse again about those who bless Israel will be blessed too. And that's how he's making his decision. So it's okay. You know, what kills me is that it's okay to go church and state for Israel. But to say that we shouldn't have gay marriage, that's the problem. And that's too much church and state, right? Okay. Anyway, but you already see who his top donor is. Speaker Mike Johnson's top contributor is AIPAC. He's currently trying to transfer billions of dollars of weapons to Israel by cutting IRS funding that would pay for free tax filing for Americans. Whether if it would pay for free tax filings for Americans or not, I can't tell you if that's true or not, but it doesn't matter. They take away from us and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Israel came first and they figured it out.